Hi, I'm Pattu from freefincal, and in this video, let's talk about the difference between normal retirement and early retirement. Before we begin, please let me know in the comment sections any videos that you would like me to make or any topics that you would like me to analyze in deep, either as an article at freefincal or as a video here, and I will try and do it. Please keep in mind that your suggestion should benefit a large segment of the investing community, and that's when it becomes more attractive for me to work on it. So, what is the difference between normal retirement and early retirement? My opinion is that there is no difference at all. There is no difference in the planning process, and in fact, there's no difference in the execution process as well. And what is worrying is that normal retirement age used to be 60 or 58, and that is rapidly decreasing because of many reasons, because of the corporate culture, because of lifestyle diseases and stress associated with the work and so on. Today I think 55 is you'd be lucky if you are able to retire at 55, and quickly it will become in the next few years it will become 50 and even 45. So I mean, it will take at least 40, 45 for many people to retire early. I mean, very few people can become millionaires by 30, 35 or so on. So that's not going to happen. Even if you want to become financially independent and retired early, fired or whatever it is, it would take you at least 40, 45. And on the other side, the normal retirement age is becoming 50, 50, 55, 50. Sure, the age gap between the two is rapidly decreasing, and therefore the age at which you're going to retire early pretty much is going to become the age at which you retire. And why do I say there's no difference between the mathematics? Because it's just the same. Whether you retire early, you still need to generate an income that increases with inflation. Whether you retire normally, you're going to do the same. And if you're going to retire early, you need to have a very clear plan on how you're going to spend your time. And that is true for normal retirement as well. You have to keep yourself busy and keep yourself active mentally, preferably even physically, so that you have something to do when the mind doesn't get become idle and so on. So you need to worry about emergency funds for both cases. You need to worry about health insurance for both cases. And one common misconception is that people think that people who are going to retire early should have a lot of equity in their portfolios and lesser amount of fixed income, because they need the corpus to last a long time. That is completely wrong. And if you get a huge market crash within the first 5 years of retirement, early retirement, you're really screwed. So even if that is true for normal retirement as well, therefore you must plan for at least 15 years of guaranteed inflation protected income, whether you're retiring early or normally. And in fact, it would be better to have lower amount of equity. It would be better to have 40% equity and 60% of fixed income in both cases. So from that point of view also, there is absolutely no difference. Of course, the from a financial advisor's point of view, there's a big difference, because for an early retiree, I mean, the financial advisor or the DIY investor can say, okay, if I cannot retire by 40, I can push it to 45 and make sure I have enough corpus. That freedom is not possible for a person who's 55, and they can't say I'm going to work for 10 years more. Even working for 5 years more may become difficult, and if the person is 58, and they will have to make do with an annuity, a pension income, and have a very little extra amount to play with. And the biggest challenge for a financial advisor is for the normal retiree is that given a small corpus, less than an ideal corpus, how can the financial planner avoid a pension plan and try to help the retiree beat inflation as much as possible, or at least do their best. So that's the big challenge. That's a huge research area. Many people are working on it actively, and in India we don't have that kind of expertise yet. it's very dangerous, because most financial advisors anywhere, whether in India or elsewhere, they have a huge conflict of interest, and financial advisors also have their own biases, so it can be very dangerous for anybody. So in that sense, there is some difference between there's a little bit of, there's an option for the early retiree to do some part-time income, part-time work which involves physical labor, that may not be possible for the normal retiree. Of course, today secondary income generation is not so difficult. So those are the broad similarities and differences. In most cases, in my opinion, there's not much of a difference. It's really the same process, mathematically also, the emotionally also. Only if the person who wishes to retire normal plans at least 20 years ahead, they have a good shot in becoming financially free at 58 or 60 or whatever, whenever they want to become normal. The thumb rule is, for normal retirement, at least invest 75% of your monthly expenses each month towards retirement. This this investment should include your EPF or NPS mandatory deduction. If you can invest an amount equal to your monthly expenses, it will be great. For the early retiree, the investment should be at least 2 to 3 times of monthly expenses every month. That was how I was able to hit financial independence in 10 years. I was able to I invested almost 3 times my monthly expenses. I still try to do, and that's another big difference. The amount needed is needed for investment is more, because the time frame is a little less. So that's what I wanted to say about this topic. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll catch you again in another video. Thank you as always for listening. Bye bye.